Good day, everyone. Recently, a friend of mine challenged me to say some few words about the ego inflation, and mostly the ego inflation that can come from some amount of spiritual or so-called spiritual experience. And I am here, of course, because I accepted that challenge. And I would say that we can consider three different kinds of ego inflation connected with spiritual experience. Well, the first one is very much in tune with what we call a spiritual bypass, meaning that I have my first spiritual experiences, I feel powerful, sometimes I feel happy, I feel some amount of light inside of me, I have some pretty neat experiences, and I conclude, I feel that I am an evolved human being. I know a lot already. I'm this important spiritual person, and I know a lot about the universe and all that. And so, actually, I'm quite above sex, and I am quite above aggression, and jealousy, and envy, and all those nasty things. In Jungian terms, we could say that I'm ignoring my shadow side, and the thing I can see so easily in other people, like sex desires and cravings and sometimes distortions or some amount of aggression or some amount of jealousy and the like, that is at the same thing what I'm not able to see in myself because I deny it. I'm so important, I'm so nice, I'm so good that I cannot have such defects. Well, of course, as long as I stay like that, I'm being blocked in my own development because I'm not really transmuting myself into something else, and I'm not really going deep down in my own caves to face my own dragons and to tame them. Eventually even to transmute also my dragons. So this is a dangerous possibility. This of course amounts to a sort of fake spiritual identity that I might build. Well, then there is another thing that might be quite dangerous, I would say, and I believe we have seen lots of it in the history of religions. And what happens there is that I am going for my own spiritual quest. I have this spiritual impulse. I want to find deeper meaning into life and the world and so on. And then I start practicing some things like meditation, prayer, sacred dance, or other things, but inside the context of a specific religion. And then I have some interesting, powerful, nice experience, and I have this tendency to interpret what happens in terms of the context of my time, of the context of my religion, of the dogma, of the belief system, of the rituals of my own religion. And therefore I conclude that because I had such a neat experience inside of it, this is like a proof that my religion is the good one. Mine is the real religion, because it's inside of it that I got all of this important experience. I am pretty sure that the reason why we see easily, even historically, some mystics belonging to different religions being able to deal with each other quite at ease, to have a nice experience together, is because they know that the deep experience of the spiritual realm is beyond space and time, it's beyond belief systems, it's beyond specific religions and so on. Let's say they know they can go to the top of different mountains, and there they share the same high atmosphere. So I would say that it's good to avoid this mistake of believing that because I have a powerful experience within some belief system that shows the belief system to be correct. I think it's not as easy as that. Well, then we have a third kind of ego inflation, quite frequent, I would say. And that happens when we have sometimes our first, sometimes powerful spiritual experiences. We feel full of light, full of love, full of joy, and so on. That's okay, that's nice, that's legitimate. But then we conclude, or we feel, that we are spiritually evolved, we are enlightened, we know a lot. Now we must find followers. Now we have lots of things to say. Now we actually must share our fantastic experience. We become sort of full of ourselves, and in a way, there is an illusion here, because we are attributing to ourselves something that does not belong in our very little personalities. It's like thinking that because I was hit by such a powerful ray from the sun, I have the sun inside, or I own the sun, or I am the author of the light coming from the sun. And of course, with time, usually with some maturity, I think many of us will conclude that no, we have nice experiences, but we don't own anything. We are not the authors of it. In the past, I said in a book that we are not the authors of truth, and we are not the owners of reality. I think this applies here. If there is a universe, an extremely vast universe, and if I get some tiny sparkle of contact with it, with its depth, its meaning, or its power, or its joy, or its wisdom, I should never conclude that that means I'm important, or I'm different, or something like that. I'm just a minor amount of dust in this universe. But of course, I share that universe that is equally present everywhere and in each being. And to the amount I come to this conclusion, I feel it, I know that my personal self is no longer important at all. In a subtle way, I lose all my self-esteem because I'm now developing soul esteem, or universe esteem, or pure light esteem, or something like this. And I no longer feel that I am important as a personal self. I feel that the whole is important. Well, this is what I wanted to talk about for this moment. And as usual, if you liked it, comment, share, subscribe the channel. See you.